A 36-year run at ESPN ends with this telecast tonight for Mark Jones. Mark joins us, and I think a standing ovation would be appropriate at this point.
Stand up, Bridget.
Thanks, guys.
Jonesy, tell me what you're feeling right now, man.
Well, Ernie, I have a very full and a very heavy heart today as I say goodbye to the only place that I've really worked in network television, and I'm just thankful for all the friends that I've made along the journey. You know, they talk about it being not about the destination but the journey, and my journey's been outstanding. You know, I had a chance to be around some fantastic people. I started my career off working with, you know, Brent Musburger and Jim Valvano in one of my very first assignments, and working with you know, Dick Vermeil and Musburger on college football, and had a chance to do NBA finals and just be around some wonderful people as part of my NBA family. So as I say goodbye today, I'm going to have fun. I'm doing it with my partner Doris Burke, and I couldn't think of a better way to go out.
Mark, I can remember, you know, especially listening to cool guys like Ernie and Dick Vitale, but when I came into the NBA, you and Stewart were the only guys that were adding hip-hop to when you was talking about basketball. When did you decide to start doing that?
You know what, it was pretty much from the start, Shaq. You know, I always talk about in some of the kids that I mentor in the business that are trying to get into the business, being your authentic self, and that's always been a big part of my culture and the things that I listen to and where I am in this world. And I figure if you're going to be your best self, then you got to let it fly the same way you would let it fly as if you were watching TV at home, watching a game and saying some of the things, talking to the TV the same way I do as when I broadcast. So it wasn't so much a conscious decision, Shaq. It was just being my best version of my best self, I think.
Well, Mark, we've been friends for a long time, man. I just want to say congratulations on an amazing career. But take me back when you were younger. Who were some of the first people, especially people of color, that you saw on television that inspired you and made you want to do this?
Yeah, you know, there's an interesting story, Charles. When I was working in Toronto originally, where I was born, I went down to the baseball stadium. I was hosting the Toronto Blue Jays magazine show, and I met Bryant Gumbel for the first time. He was a guy that I really idolized. And I went up to Bryant Gumbel and said, Mr. Gumbel, one day I'd like to call big games on national network television in the United States like yourself. And he turned around and blew me away when he said, young man, I watched your sportscast last night on television on TSN. I think you're ready now. And that had an incredibly indelible impact on me and my outlook going forward. And he would have to be the one guy that I really point at. And of course, you know, getting to work with Brent Musburger early. I watched James Brown. Fred Hickman was another guy on CNN that I always enjoyed watching on television as well. So when you consider some of those names and some of those faces, especially the people of color, it really resonated with me.
Mark, congratulations on a great career. And I have one question. You've had so many great games and so many great telecasts. So what would be the most memorable game that you have ever had, besides maybe tonight?
I would think it would be Steph Curry's 54-point game in Madison Square Garden back when he was becoming Steph Curry. And interestingly enough, Kenny, that's the first time I spit out, oh, he's hotter than fish grease. And it just came to me in the moment because he was so incredibly spellbinding that night. And, you know, it was that one. It was the infamous LeBronto game in 2018, Game 2 in Toronto, and LeBron had, I think it was 18 points in the second quarter. Those were two of the more memorable ones. And, of course, the NBA Finals that I had an honor to call back in 2022, Game 1 with the Warriors against the Celtics. Those are just three of many that I would have to rank that way.
Jonesy, last thing from me. Look, when I'm watching games in my home office and I'm working on stuff, when you're calling a game, I always have dictionary.com, that window open, because I know you're good for 3 or 4 absolute beauties as the night wears on. Put you on the spot. Is there a word that comes to mind that is going to describe what you're feeling right now and what this game will mean to you?
I would have to say just indelible. This one will be one that is emblazoned. I would go with one of those two, emblazoned in my memory forever, because it'll be the last time that I get to work for the worldwide leader, and a place that gave me an opportunity back in 1990 as an intrepid young sportscaster coming from Toronto, to believe in me, to give me a chance. And you know, Ernie, with the words, that's a tribute to my late father, Hugh Jones, who lived to be 93. He was fluent in Latin and Spanish, and he made my older brother Paul and I sit down at the dinner table a lot of nights and read the dictionary to him and go through vocabulary. So it's a part of him that I take to the microphone.
Hey,
Mark,
Yeah.
Mark, last question. One, I love you. And two, when you used to roll up the piece of paper and shoot it at the wastebasket, was it higher than my free throw percentage? Did you make more than you missed?
This much.
Because I always used to wonder, is he making that shot? Congratulations, brother. We love you.
Yeah.
Mark Jones.
Thank you. Love you guys, too. Thank
Enjoy
you.
every second tonight, man. Hope
I
it
will.
goes double
And thanks
OT.
for having me. Yeah, it's great to be on the same team with you guys for one last time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
The honor is ours, believe me. Have
We'll
a great-
see you in my favorite city, Toronto, as soon as basketball is over. You know that.
If not, South Beach.
You got it, Chuck.
Nobody want to go to South Beach.
As we head to break, a shout out to give to one of the members of our final Sunday. 1 playoff spot and 10 playoff seedings to be settled. Welcome to NBA Tip-Off presented by Lilly from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson with Shaq and Kenny and Chuck back from the Final Four, back for the end of the regular season and for a playoff run in the NBA.
All right, man. Shout out to all the people at CBS for a great 3 weeks. It was awesome. And but we're glad to be home.
Yes, we are.
You weren't saying that when we were up there. You were talking bad about these people. But
Well, that's because they wasn't around.
okay.
We always tell you talk bad behind people back. That doesn't
No, that's you. That's you. That's not us.
Hey, so what do we know going into this final Sunday?
Oh, this will be good.
Would you
right
like
here.
to know what?
No, I know what you just asked, Shaq.
No,
No,
this is what
it's too
we know.
complicated.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
you know, I know.
No, here's what we know in the Eastern Conference. 1 through 4, locked in, okay? Can't move. 5 through 10, could all change after today's play. Meantime,
Hawks against the Cavaliers will be delicious.
Meantime, Western Conference. So Thunder and Spurs have the top 2 spots. Rockets and Timberwolves have 5 and 6. We know the Suns will be 7, hosting a play-in game, and the Warriors will be on the road in a play-in game out of the number 10 spot. So the NBA,
Kind of fast.
the NBA sent this out, and I love it. It's a work of art. It really is. 40 scenarios for the games today.
You know what I call that?
For the what?
Waste of time.
Ernie-lytics.
It is, man. I
Ernie
saw
Lennox.
this. I saw this on my printer at home, and I was like, "Oh,
Because you got it memorized. I
this
already know
thing
you got
is
it memorized.
Unbelievable! It is tremendous.
Somebody had too
Look
much
at
time
this.
on their hands.
No, that's the
Ernie-lytics.
the
Ernie loves
league.
that.
No, the league trying to help us out, saying, "Look, here are all the scenarios for if a team loses and a
Kenny,
team wins." And
I
all
got
that.
4 degrees. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, this is.
No, Ernie got it. It was ordered
yeah.
donuts. And
Oh, I know. I got it.
everything that. This is great.
Called the neighbors, told them to come over and take a look at it.
Had a barbecue.
Ernie-lytics.
So let's move on. Look, I could take a few hours and read all of this to you, all the what ifs, but a much better way to put this day into perspective is by hearing the rat-a-tat-tat delivery of our old school correspondent. Here is Scoop D'Agostino.